everybody. How are we? Welcome to TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube Live. Are we all good? I am literally just rushed out of the shower in time to come and say hello and do a live. Hope we're all good. Hope we're all happy. Hope we're all healthy. Hope we're all well. Hope you've all had a very nice Monday. I've had a really good Monday. It's been stupidly busy, but it's been good. It's been all right. The weather's been shining. The sun has been shining. That makes everything better. It has been busy, but I like being busy. So, yeah, so we're happy with that. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good Monday. What am I doing now? Not a lot. I don't know. I feel like I need to tidy up my desk because it's an absolute tip. I've got bits and pieces everywhere. I'm looking for where my vlogging camera is. That isn't in yet. That is next door. Let me put that in there. I'm just having a little tidy up while a few of you guys come online. I definitely need, I'm going to plug in. I want my iPad for tomorrow to do some, bits and, to do some bits and pieces. Let me put that there. Let me put that there. I'm getting there. I'm a bit tidier than I was. Let me put those there. That's there. Right, I just need to plug my iPad in, and then you've got my undivided attention. I promise you. How nice has it been today just to have a little bit of sunshine, like warm sunshine. It's been blooming lovely. I mean, it's been absolutely blooming lovely. Right, the iPad's plugged in. That's ready to go. Right, you've got me. Let's do the top 5 this evening and see who is on and what's going on. Kirsty, good evening, boss. Good evening. You're in at number 1. Faye's in at number 2. Lauren's in at number 3. Sheila's in at number 4. And Jane is in at number 5. You are in. My top 5 this evening. Thank you very much, guys, for jumping on board, coming and saying hello. Steph GC, good evening. James, morning, Neil. Good morning, James. Has it been one of those days, mate? Lou, good evening. Stefan's in. Hi, everyone. Ryan's in. Hello, Kelly C. Is your phone on the boost or is it glitching? Probably not. Hang on. Bear with me. Hang on. I'm sorry. You guys are always on the booster on TikTok and Facebook, but my phone switches because when I walk in the house and come back out here and so on and so forth. Anyway, my phone is now on. Is my phone on the booster? It wasn't. It is now. Hopefully that is all good. Kirsty, good evening on YouTube. Hopefully that is all good. My dinner was next level tonight. Kirsty, your dinners always look next level. What have you had? Tell us. I wish I could eat it again. Tell us. I know it'll be on the Facebook group. I'll go and have a look. 1,602 calories today, 135.6 grams of protein, 17 grams of fibre, on track for my aim. Nice one, Ryan. I've not done too bad myself. Do you know what? I've done 1,600 calories myself today. I've done 1,600 calories. I am going to have a little bit more, though, before bed. My calories have been really low. I had that blade of beef that I posted on my social media last week. I tried that today. I wasn't a massive fan. I had a few people saying it was a really fatty cut of meat, and it was. And some people will really like that. For me, I kind of thought it was going to be a bit like braising steak, where it's a piece of meat, right? And then you might have a line of fat around the outside and you can just cut that off. And I was all right with that. It wasn't. One piece had a lot of fat running through it. The other piece was more like a steak with fat on the outside, but I found it a bit faffy to eat because of that. And because it's braised, it wasn't very, if it had been a bit crispier or a bit drier, I think it would have been easier to eat. So for me personally, I didn't think it was worth the calories, but I don't think it had a Mother's Day sticker on it, so I don't think it's going to be a main addition anyway. But yeah, it wasn't quite for me. Some people might love that, but I'm not sure. Boss, not sure if you're aware, but you have not travelled as my dad has not. Hang on. Boss, not sure if you are aware, but I've not travelled as my dad has been in hospital. I'm doing best I can. What do you mean by travelled, Stefan? Why were you going somewhere? Have I forgotten? And sorry to hear that your dad's in hospital, mate. Hope he's all right. And it's nothing too serious, buddy. If I've missed something that you were going somewhere, I didn't know you were, didn't you? But anyway, let me know. He's been. Oh, right. Sorry. Tracked. Sorry, Stefan. That's just predictive text and me just not thinking. You've not tracked. Okay, mate. So Stefan's dad's gone in hospital and he's not tracked. And that's because we kind of you shuffled the priority a little bit today, mate. That's absolutely fine. Just make sure that doesn't. I know it's a worrying time and we might have a little bit of emotional eating, especially when someone very close to us is poorly. And the odd day, absolutely not an issue at all. But just try and not let it chip into your routine too much. Just do the best you can. That's all you have to do. That's all I ask. That's all I ask is to try and do the best you can. Yeah. Karen G, good evening. Paul, good evening. Been watching a lot of your videos. I've been on Mounjaro for 8 weeks. Lost 44 pounds. Wow. 44 pounds in 8 weeks is that's a lot of weight in a short period of time, Danny. Coming off it and going it alone now. Why? Why are you coming? Just out of interest, and I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing to do, but just out of interest, Danny, why are you going it alone? Now, just for a bit of clarity, if you don't want to go it alone, Danny, you don't have to, mate. You can come and get on plan with me, mate. You don't need to be alone, or just join our community. Just sometimes we need that little bit of extra accountability or support. So now you might be like, well, I don't want to spend the money on Mounjaro. I don't feel that, I feel like I want to give it my own. I understand that at some point in time, I'm going to have to go on my own. So just out of interest, why would you only do it for 2 months and then come off it? And like I say, I'm not saying it's the right or wrong to do. I don't want to rely on Mounjaro. I want to be sustainable. Fair enough. And I get that. And that is a thought process that every single person that's on Mounjaro needs to have. Now, I'm not saying that what am I not saying? I'm not saying that means you should come off it after 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. We know the shelf life of Mounjaro is 2 years, right? That is what the data tells us at the moment. You can't be on it any longer than 2, or you shouldn't be on it any longer than 2 years. And really, I'll be honest with you, I genuinely believe this. I think it's going to get regulated quite quickly. I think, unfortunately, I know a lot of people that genuinely are using it and should be using it. That's fine. But I also know there's quite a few people that are also abusing it. So I've been doing quite a lot of research recently on Mounjaro. I've done a podcast on it, my basic views of it. But as a coach, I've got a lot of clients on it now. So I am, trying to do my best research. And I've talked to a couple of pharmacists that I know, and I've done a little bit of research. Basically, your supplier, whoever is supplying you Mounjaro at the moment, unless you have any other medical conditions where you might be taking it, like type 2 diabetes, once you hit a BMI of 24.9 or less, it is it is the responsibility of your supplier to then start talking to you about coming off it. Now, I'm not saying you should just go cold turkey, but your supplier, if you're on Mounjaro and your BMI is now 24.9, you should really, in my eyes, have your get out clause in place, and then you should start ramping it down. So if you've got to 24.9 BMI and you're currently on 10 milligrams, what you should then do is ease down to 7.5 milligrams, 5, 2.5, bring yourself off it. And you need to then learn about self-suppression, about sorting this out yourself. Because like I say, it isn't a lifelong thing. You're not going to be on it. You're not going to be on it for the rest of your life. And even if you did decide to take it for the rest of your life, it won't work. So it's pointless. This is why we have to ramp up the dosage of Mounjaro from 2.5 to 5 to 7.5 to 10, because your body builds up a resilience to it, right? It becomes kind of the suppression. Well, I've had a client not last check-in, just gone the check-in before. They've been on 2.5 milligram for 10 weeks. Suppression just ain't working anymore. So now they're ramping it up to 5. Eventually that'll happen with 5. Yeah. And it's not just a case of, it's not just a case of, it's not just a case of, right, well, I'll go to 17 and a half, I'll go to 20, you can't. 17 and a half is the maximum dose. Now, don't get me wrong, that might change in the future. Who knows? But anyway, lots of the prescribers support using it to goal or using it longer for maintenance. Lots of the prescribers support, using it to goal or using it longer term for maintenance. Yeah. Why? Money. And again, this is why regulation needs to get better. So, I've seen a lot of people do 2.5 milligram for 4 weeks, then 5 milligram for 4 weeks, then 7.5 milligram for 4 weeks, and they're getting ramped up. And this is from recommendation from their supplier, right? Their supplier, the bigger the dose, the more it costs. And these people are unfortunately money centered first, your health second, right? The quicker they get you onto a higher dose, the more money you're going to spend with them. It really is that simple. And suppliers, prescribers, whatever you want to call them, they might be pushing people. No, just keep on it until you hit goal. Keep on it. That is not how it's meant to be. That is not how all these suppliers have been, taught. But there's no regulation. There's no regulation to sort of say that they're doing anything. If you've got a BMI of 20, right? And you're still on it, there's absolutely no, your supplier prescriber at this moment in time can't get in trouble for that. But it will change. It has to change because people will really start abusing it, I've been on 5 milligram for the past 5 months. It's working well for me and I've lost 5.7 stone. Dixon Bainbridge, absolutely amazing. And like I say, there's absolutely no reason to increase your dosage unless and you don't even need to go from 2.5 milligram to 5. You could go from 2.5 milligram to 3.75 if you wanted to, if you just put the clicks on the pen correctly, right? So there's no even need to jump up. But, if you've been on it for 5 months and you're still on 5 milligram and your suppression's still happening, that's great. That is really, really good. It means you're not over abusing it. You're not just getting pushed. I mean, your prescriber, your supplier, whatever you want to call them, might have said, no, you need to go up to 70. You don't. You move up the dose when you're ready. Yeah, when you're ready. People do need to be sensible with it. Of course you do. It's a medication. It is a medication. And there's absolutely the data at the moment for long term. There's been the first release of data for GLP-1s for long term. Short term, it is actually shown that it may promote heart health. Long term, it can do cardiac and respiratory damage. Now, don't get me wrong. Please don't go, right, well, I'm not saying it to scaremonger. I'm not. This is just reports. Go Google it. Go have a look. These are just some early reports that are coming out to say now what they're classing. I think this is done from obviously clinical trials, but then it'll also be a projection. So they've probably noticed some changes in people's respiratory health after maybe, the first people that went on it, because people will have been on it for a good 2 or 3 years before it's even gone out into the mainstream. And this is GLP-1. So this isn't necessarily Mounjaro, but obviously we've had Saxenda, we've had Ozempic. There's quite a few health complications with Ozempic, but again, you've always got to look at the balance because nothing's as unhealthy as being obese. Nothing is unhealthy. So sometimes it's like, yeah, I might get these side effects, right? But that's worth the trade-off for being 15 stone lighter. It is, for some of them. So that's kind of the first date coming up. But I'm not doing that to scaremonger. It's a medication. Of course, there's always going to be some long-term side effects. And this doesn't mean it's going to happen to every single person. That's the thing you need to understand about side effects. I've had clients go on to Mounjaro that have had quite a lot of nausea, that have really suffered badly with constipation just after being on it for a couple of weeks. I've got other clients that have been on it for 3 months and I've had, other than maybe some slight headaches every now and then, and they could just be headaches that they'd have had anyway. They've had no side effects. So there's nothing concrete. There's nothing concrete yet. How can I go about joining one-to-one with yourself? Danny Lucas, if you would like to come on my one-to-one plan, TikTok profile, click on my link tree. YouTube page, YouTube profile, Facebook page. You basically want to get to my link tree. So just go into, you're obviously here on TikTok. Come out the live, go onto my TikTok profile, go into my link tree. I've got a code at the moment. It's just 15 quid to sign up to my one-to-one plan. Spring 50. That code's in my link tree. You can see the code. You basically click the link, head to my website, put your details in and sign up. It's 15 quid to sign up. And then it's $29.99 a month. I've got 2 people starting a week today. So I've got 3 spaces left for a week today. It's a bit of a quieter time for me, so I'm not expecting those 3 spaces to fill up anytime soon. But if you want to take one of them and get yourself started a week today, go sign up and we'll get you started. 15 quid, chuck it in. It's been payday today. How is it possible? I've worked out I've lost 22% weight. Do you mean 22% of your body weight? Yeah, it's amazing. And this is some of the things we should look at. So many people are so down on themselves sometimes, like, oh, I've only lost this, I've only lost that. If you look at it, if you're someone that's 300 pounds and you lose 30 pounds, you've lost 10% of your body. 10%. That's a lot. That is a lot, I used to be 514 pounds. I've nearly lost 50%. I have actually got down. Oh, no, I have lost over 50%. What am I at the moment? Last time I weighed, I was just under 19 stone. So, what's 19 stone? 266? No, so I'm not quite halfway. I have been lighter than that. The lightest I've ever been is 16 stone 9. So I've been 233 pounds, which is minus 514. So the most I've ever lost is 281 pounds. That's the lowest I've ever been. I'm currently, I think, 264. I think so. I was 514 minus 264. So I'm 250 pounds down as we stand at the moment. That is where I am at. I've gained 7 kilograms over the weekend binge eating. You've not gained 7 kilograms in body fat over the weekend. I can guarantee that. How much of this could be water? Probably did 20,000 calories. Well, I mean, what do you mean you've probably done 20? You either have done 20. Look, when we say we've eaten, unless you've tracked, you always think you've been way worse than you have, right? You always think you've been way worse than you have. I very much doubt you've eaten 20,000. I'm not saying you haven't, but I'd be very surprised if you've eaten 20,000 calories. And even if you have eaten 20,000, what's your maintenance? What is your maintenance? 7 kilograms, 7 times 2.2 is what, 16 pounds? Right? So what is your maintenance calories? So if you've eaten 20,000 calories, you tell me your maintenance calories and I'll tell you how much is fat and how much is water retention. Yeah? I burn 3,500 calories a day. So my maintenance calories is 7,000 calories. So if I'd eaten 20,000 calories over the weekend and my scales showed a gain of 16 pounds, how much of that is body fat? None. And I'll tell you why. Because body fat, if whatever you've done Saturday, Sunday, that fat will not be in your system now. It actually takes about 24 to 48 hours to metabolize fat. So I would say out of that 20 kilograms, I'm not saying some of it won't develop into body fat and store as body fat, but body fat isn't an instant process, right? We think it is, and it isn't. Fat loss is, right? So you could, if you would metabolize fat quite quickly, quite instantly. So I burn 3,500 calories in a day. If I ate nothing, do I burn 3,500? Yeah, I burn 3,500 calories in a day. If I ate nothing for 24 hours, I would lose 1 pound of body fat, right? Because my body would have to, otherwise I'd be dead if that didn't happen. Yeah. Right. Let me scan down. How long did your weight loss take? So I'm currently 11 years into my weight loss journey, but I don't want you to think like I've been like I've been at it for 11 years. I haven't. I've had what I call weight loss phases. So I started February 2014 and I ended my first weight loss phase. So I started at 514 pounds and I ended my first weight loss phase at 285 pounds in November 2017. Over the next year, I maintained my weight from that period. I hovered around the 20 stone mark. I then in September 20, sorry, I'm lying there. I then in June 2018 started working part time. I qualified as a personal trainer at the end of May 2018, and in June 2018, I started working as a PT part time. Right, so I was a company accountant, but I was very flexible with my hours. I was never really person facing, unless I had meetings or disciplinaries or something like that. So the guy that run the company with me, he's sort of guy that the guy that owned the company. I ran the company. It was my mate. He was a mate. It was a dad, and he was literally like, "You do what you need to do as long as your job's done." And I was quite lucky because he couldn't afford to pay me what I should have been paid, so it gave me quite a lot of leeway. So I sort of worked, and then from working part time as a PT in June 2018, that's when I kind of went into my next weight loss phase. But I didn't do it on purpose. Right, it was just the fact that I was personal training. I was kind of, I started doing 15, 20 hours a week running around the gym, still training myself. So my calorie burn just increased. 2 weeks into being a personal trainer, one of the spin instructors didn't turn up. I'd never done a spin class in my life. I'd done my qualifications while doing my PT. Other than that, nothing. And I remember the gym manager coming in saying, "Can anyone cover a spin class tonight?" And I was like, "I'm free. I've got no mic. I've got no playlist. I've got nothing, but I'll give anything a go, mate. I'm not bothered." So he was like, "Right, you can use my mic. Go give it a go." Then I started instructing spin. Then I started doing other fitness classes. And I ended up, over the next year. So by about September 2019, I was another 4 stone. Well, I got down to about 16 stone. So I lost another 3.5 stone. I wasn't even trying, right? And I know that might sound sickening to some people. I wasn't. I was still eating a ridiculous amount. I was eating about 28,000 calories a week, and I still lost nearly 4 stone in a year. So that's telling you I was, I was probably burning about well over 30,000 calories a week. So I got down to that around September. I then maintained that for about 12, 18 months. Maybe not quite. Maybe started to gain a little bit back 2021. Then, as I moved from being a full-time personal trainer to started doing TikTok, then working with online clients like I do now, my one-to-one personal training went, and my online went, which meant I spent a lot more time sat in a chair like this. And I was complacent. It's a learning curve. I was really complacent and I was in denial. And I'd say from towards the end of 2021, for a year, I gained about 4 stone in a year. I did. I came back from Benidorm in October 2022 and I got on the scales and I was nearly 21 stone. And I was just in denial over it because I was just moving a lot less, but still eating 28. My calorie burn had gone from 30 odd thousand calories a week to about 22, 23. Still a lot of calories. I still burnt a lot of calories, but my eating was still 28,000 calories a week. So I went up to about 21 stone. Got down to about 20 stone. And then maintained that for 2023. And then 2024 went into a weight loss phase, sort of hovered around, lost a few pounds. Maybe actually, toward 2023, I say maintenance. Yeah, I came out of 2023 Christmas, I was 20 stone, 8 pounds, right? Back up there. So again, maybe a little bit in denial. But then last year I got down to about 19. Came out at Christmas and I was about back up to 20, and then now I'm like 18 and a bit. So I go through weight loss phases, and do you know what? It's always going to be like that. We need to accept that. If we're someone that's always been, don't get wrong, a lot more in control of my weight now, and I've never been past that 20 stone 5 pounds for more than a week. Yeah, so that's kind of like the history of my weight loss journey. As it stands now, I'd like to get down to about 18. So I've got maybe a stone to go. I'd like to do another stone, and then I'll be relatively happy, ish. But I am looking at getting new knees. First one towards the end of this year. So I've got to go and have some consultations in the next month or two, and it all depends. My BMI currently is about 31. If they say to me, look, we need your BMI to be 28 or 26 for you to get the operation, I have no idea. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to go back into a bit more of a weight loss phase and get down a bit more. I know it's hard to tell, but any idea what my goal weight should be ish? Callum, yes, I do, mate. I do. It's your check-in this week. So ask me in your check-in, mate, and I'll let you. Just I can have a little look. Off the top of my head, mate, I think you're probably going to be, I don't know, maybe 13 and a half, 14, maybe something like that for your current height. Again, we've got to accept if we're someone that's, we fight our weight a little bit, it's got to be a bit of a balance. But ask me in your check-in, mate, and I'll have a proper look at, I'll work out your height. You're quite a young lad. So I'll work everything out and then we'll give you a bit of a target to aim for, You're doing really, really well, though. You're doing really, really well. Evening, boss. Evening, Mr. Baxter. Hope you're good. I do 14,000, 15,000 steps every day, around 30, 40 zone minutes, but my calorie burn is only around 2,300. What's telling you that? What do you mean your calorie? Right. Well, Gwenny, it all depends on how. Look, the main thing that contributes to calorie burn is how heavy we are, right? That's number one, right? That is number one, is our weight. Our height, our sex, and our age do play a part. And then obviously on top of that, this is like our metabolism. And then we add in our movement. You're doing 14 to 15,000 steps every day and around 30 to 40 zone minutes. What a zone? Do you mean like fat burn? Forget them zone. It's bullshit. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I will never, ever, ever sugarcoat or lie. I'll never say anything harsh to anyone, but we get all this wrapped up. I do 40 minutes fat burning zones and all this, that, and the other. It's all a load of nonsense, really. You burn fat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The faster your heart rate is, the more body fat you tend to burn because the more energy you're using. We've only got two energy sources. One's glycogen, one's body fat. You burn body fat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's just say you do 14 to 15,000 steps a day, Gwenny, which is really, really good. And your calorie burn is around 2,300. That would suggest to me that you weigh about 12 and a half, 13 stone. If you weigh any more than that, then whoever's worked out your calorie burn's wrong. Yeah. That's what I'd say. In fact, I've had a client tonight that's come on. In fact, I'll tell you now, I've had a client that's just come into the community, and I've just done their calories. And this client is 48. They're 170. I'm not saying a name, so it's anonymous. This client's 48, 175 pounds. They're 5'4" tall, female. They do up to 15,000 steps a day. 10,000 minimum, up to 15,000 steps a day. And their calorie burn is 2,305 calories. That's their maintenance. And their calorie deficit that I've put them in is 1,800. Yeah. What would be my calorie burn at 22 stone, please? If you want me to work out your calories, if you just want your calories working out, come join my community. Don't get me wrong. You don't just get your calories worked out. You get access. You need to subscribe to my community minimum. Right, so either subscribe to my community or join my one-to-one plan. If you subscribe to my community, you get your calories, you get a guide to bossing your weight loss, you get access to the private Facebook group, the WhatsApp community, the weight loss coaching lives, the Zoom sessions, but you are responsible for yourself. You need to be accountable for you, right? If you need extra accountability and support from a coach, join my one-to-one, because if you join my one-to-one, yes, you get a full calorie breakdown, but you get a full plan to follow. And more importantly, you get to check in with me every 2 weeks so I can keep an eye on you. Make sure, don't worry, when I say keep an eye on you, I'm not Big Brother. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to it's just, you log your weight in with me, you tell me what's going on, and I'll just give you support and advice to keep you going on your journey. So, but if you want your calorie burn, if you're just like, no, I don't need any one-to-one support, Neil. I don't need any accountability. I'm quite happy just going out in my own lane. Then just join the community. It's £5 for the first month using code WELCOME. My one-to-one at the moment is £15 sign up. So one-to-one's £15 to sign up. Community's £5 sign up. And I'll give you a full calorie breakdown. Again, TikTok profile, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook page, YouTube profile. Get signed up to click on my link tree. 2-3 tabs down in my link tree, you should see it'll say community sign up. So you've got one-to-one sign up, you've got community sign up. 16 stone bin man, no bad carbs, meat and fruit. There's no bad carbs, Bill Backs. You're absolutely right. What do you class as a bad carb? Because if you have a healthy relationship with food, there are no bad carbs. There might be carbohydrates that are less nutrient dense. There might be carbohydrates that are more nutrient dense, but there's no such thing as a bad carb, right? And I mean that. There's no such thing as bad food. Yeah, there is such a thing as overconsumption. So if I overconsume biscuits, they're going to be detrimental to my health. If I overconsume broccoli, it is going to be detrimental to my health. But that big word is, or the two big words is overconsumption. Yeah, I said this morning on my live. You know, I guarantee the majority of Premier League or a good few Premier League footballers have a McDonald's once a week. Are they unfit? Even though they consume one of the most ultra processed foods in the world, right? Does that make a footballer unfit because they have a McDonald's? Does it toss? Right? Because the majority of their diet is healthy and nutritious. Yeah. And that's the important thing, you know. So don't stop thinking of food that's good, that's bad, because that'll just play havoc with your head. And then if you ever eat anything that you class as bad, you'll feel guilty, you'll feel down, and it doesn't work like that. Like on this live now, what does anyone class as a bad carb? What is a bad carb? You know, something about sugar. Again, we've been eating sugar for thousands of years, right? Maybe not quite in the form that it is now, but we've certainly been eating sugar in the form it's in now for hundreds of years, right? Yet weight issues, diabetes has only been an issue for 20, 30 years. So sugar's the root cause of all evil. 100 years ago, there was not an epidemic of diabetes. There was not an epidemic of obesity. People probably consumed more sugar 100 years ago than they do in 2025 because we have so many, we have a lot of things like artificial sweeteners. Yet 100 years ago, 30% of the UK population wasn't obese. It was less than 1% 100 years ago. 100 years ago, there wasn't 4.8 million type 2 diabetics in the UK. I don't actually know how many there were, but there certainly weren't 4.8 million because there wasn't 2 million type 2 diabetics in the 80s, right? So we can keep demonizing all these foods, but the honest truth is, what the issue is overconsumption, right? Good food, bad food. Had a cake for my mum's B-day today. Now that's good food. That is good food. Absolutely. Yeah, you can look at things as that's good food because it tastes bloody good, and that's bad because it tastes like rubbish. But yeah, we've got to step out of this mindset of good and bad. It doesn't work like that, right? Right, let me go down. But yeah, anyone get signed up to the community, guys. £5 first month. Use code WELCOME at checkout. It's no commitment. You're not signed up for a year. You're not committing to anything. You can come in. You can sign up now, get your calories tomorrow, and flipping cancel it. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. I've lost weight massively on my legs, but struggling on my belly and upper body. Adam, it's funny you should say that. The first 10 stone that I lost on my journey, I lost on my upper body. I literally lost it from here to my waist, and my legs and my bum, my thighs, and my leg didn't really change that much. I'm going into what I call... Well, that was on the floor. I thought it was like a bloody cockroach. So it's not. It's just a bit of bark. I'm going into what I call relax mode. It's gone 9 o'clock. It's 20 to... What time is it? Oh, it's 20 to... I was thinking, I start my lives at 8:30. Have I only been on 10 minutes? No, my evening lives, I start at 8 p.m. We've got 20 minutes left. Then I'm going to bed because I'm knackered and I'm going to the gym at 6 in the morning. Yeah, so the first 10 stone, this is what it felt like because I still had a pretty big waist 12 months into my weight loss journey. And then the second half of my weight loss journey, the other 7 or 8 stone that I lost, all seemed to come off my legs. So, Adam, all I can say is, mate, just keep going to get to your goal. And when you get to your goal, your body fat will have gone from everywhere you want it to go to. And if you get to your goal and the body fat hasn't gone from everywhere you want it to go to, that's just your body fat, mate. You're always going to have a little bit, or you should always have a little bit, you know? Right, let me scan down and see if I missed anything. I don't think I have. 2 questions, mate. Weights or cardio first at the gym? I know I've already answered your second question. I'm doing it backwards, Adam. Weights or cardio first at the gym? When planning a session, officially, you should do your weights first and your cardio second. This is nothing to do with weight loss or fat loss. This is down to planning your workout so you have the optimal energy for doing the workout that you're going to be doing. Right, so what I mean, I don't want this to get too complicated. We've got 2 types of energy. One is carbs, one is fat, right? Carbs is stored in the body as glycogen in our muscles and our liver and our brain, right? And fat is stored in the body as subcutaneous fat, which is fat that sits under our skin. So if I've got bingo wings from my loose skin from my weight loss, but if I've got any fat here, which I'm quite lucky with my arms, I don't really have. I can pretty much pinch and feel my fingers on both sides. That's just loose skin. But fat in here is subcutaneous fat. Fat in here, in your midsection, is visceral fat. Fat's fat. You'll either use visceral fat or subcutaneous fat as energy. There is actually a little bit of evidence to show that cardiovascular exercise will put on your heart rate in a cardiovascular zone. Your body will tap more into visceral fat for that than it will into your subcutaneous fat. But you don't need to get too complicated. Anyway, so we've got 2 types of energy. Carbs stored as glycogen in our muscles. The best energy for lifting weights is glycogen because it's power. It's quick. It's there. It's in abundance. Fat is slow burning energy. Glycogen is quick energy. And when we're wanting something powerful, like to do shoulder presses or chest presses or rows or bicep curls, whatever we're doing, we want fast, powerful energy, right? Fat's a bit too slow for that. And the first bit of energy that the body tends to tap into is carbs, right? That is the first bit. You burn fat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it will tap into your carbs. Once your carbs have depleted from your body, your glycogen's depleted from your body, and you've only got fat left, that is what your body will then tap into. This is nothing to do with weight loss, by the way. Fat burning and fat loss are 2 totally different things, all right? Never get confused with fat burning. If you're like, I'm doing all these fat burning exercises, yeah, you're burning fat. You only lose fat if you consume less calories than you burn. You can do 10 hours of fat burning exercises a day. If you consume the same amount of calories as you burn, you will lose no fat. You'll burn fat for 10 hours, you won't lose a single ounce, right? So basically, the theory is with planning a session is, if I go and do my weights first, I'm going to use carbohydrates and a bit of fat to power me through my weights because that's what I want. When my glycogen's depleted and I've just got fat left, so I haven't got the energy then to be strong and lift weights, I'll go do my cardio because it's a little bit more steady and then the fat that I'm burning will power me through my cardio. That's the theory behind it. In all honesty, unless unless you're really like an athlete or really into training, it doesn't really matter. I tend to do cardio first because I flipping hate it. So I get what I don't like out the way, and then I go lift my weights because I enjoy it. But I only do cardio for 15 minutes. So the theory is, if you went and did an hour's worth of cardio before your weights, you'd burn all your glycogen out doing your cardio, and then you wouldn't have it for your weights. I only do 15 minutes cross trainer, so and I eat a lot of carbs, so I've always got loads of energy for training. Yeah. Paul, how's it going, pal? Really good, Paul. Started Manjaro in January, lost 3.5 stone. Any advice? Yeah, come back on plan, mate. We've got loads of people on Manjaro now in the community. So if you need any help or advice, we've got an actual GLP-1 WhatsApp chat group now dedicated to people that are using not just Manjaro. You can be using Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda. It doesn't matter. And you can come and have a chat with people. But the biggest advice, if you're on Manjaro, is, and fantastic, mate, losing 3.5 stone. Superb. Paul has been in my, I don't think he's actually been on plan with me before, Paul, but he's been in my community. The biggest thing with Manjaro is structuring your calories right, and getting that suppression right, really. And then, just like I say, ramping it up and just keeping on top of it. And while you're using Manjaro, you've got to tackle your issues of why you have a weight issue in the first place. There is going to be way too many people that are just going to use Manjaro. It's going to suppress their appetite. They're going to reduce the calorie intake. Fantastic. But they're not going to tackle those issues. Then when you stop using it, it'll just become a fad diet because you'll gain your weight back. But Paul, come back on board, mate. Come get back in the community at least, so you can vibe off people and chat and ask me any questions if you need any questions asking. The fact that you've been doing it for 3 months now, mate, and then come on and said any advice. Are you struggling a little bit? Are you finding something a little bit? Are you hitting a bit of a brick wall, or what's going on? Let me know. Right, let me scan up and refresh and see what's going on. I do 6 hours cardio. James, you do plenty of cardio, mate. You do plenty of cardio, you do plenty of steps, and it certainly is definitely a bonus for your journey. How long can you stay on weight loss injections? Current data saying 2 years maximum. 2 years maximum. I do cardio 15 minutes first too. I also hate cardio. Yeah, actually, I literally, if you watch my weekly weight loss vlog, I literally do 15 minutes cross trainer. As soon as I get to the gym, I play 1 game of Sudoku on the cross trainer. As soon as I've done that, I'm off the cross trainer. Then I go and do my weights. And then I do a spin class once a week, which I instruct. And again, that drives me to do my cardio because I love teaching fitness. I absolutely love it. I get a vibe. You know, when you're in a class and you're telling people what to do and they're following you and then they come up there. I had a lady on Saturday, and since I went back to be instructing spin in August, she pretty much comes to all my classes, and she's a really quiet lady, and she always says goodbye and stuff like that. And she said to me on Saturday, and it means so much. She was literally walking out, and she went, "Cheers, Neil. That was excellent as always. I just wish you taught all the spin classes here." And little things like that make you go, "All right, cool." You know, a little bit of job satisfaction, as it were. God, I need my contact lenses are so dry. I think it's because I've had my heater on in here, or maybe it's because it's warm in here because it's been sunny. But I'm struggling to. Sorry for doing that, for moving it, but I'm struggling to focus. I nearly put my glasses on. Actually, they were getting a bit sticky before. I'm not keen on the cross training. It's my. I do enjoy the cross training. I really, really do. But it's different strokes for different folks. Rachel's walking on it. Rachel takes a Kindle to the gym, right? And she puts like 7.5 incline, 5 kilometers an hour, whacks a Kindle in it, and just sits and just stands there reading a book for 45 minutes. I couldn't think of anything worse. She does it all the time. She loves it. So you've just got to find what you enjoy, you know? Right, let me scan down, see if I've missed anything. I think I'm on it. I know I'm waffling a lot. Thank you very much for the gifts, guys. It's very, very kind of you. You never need to, but it's always appreciated. I've messaged you in the community. I haven't heard back yet. I've subscribed. Thanks. Audrey, what? Audrey. You say you messaged me in the Audrey. Just WhatsApp me if you're struggling for anything. Just drop me a WhatsApp. I assume if I've not got you on what, don't know why Audrey doesn't ring a bell. Audrey, I'm searching for you now. You know, I haven't got a customer called Audrey. Unless is that an anonymous name for TikTok? I don't know. I don't know why. I'm searching now. I've not got a customer. That's why when I read that, I was like, I'm messaging the community. Don't get me wrong. There's 400 people in the community. I'm not saying I remember, but I do most of the time. WhatsApp me. Where have you messaged me in the community, or drop me an email or something like that? My email's info@thereallostboss.com. Or WhatsApp me. If you're in the community, you'll have my WhatsApp, especially if you've been in a month. So just drop me a WhatsApp and I'll look into what you want me to look in. Yeah. Signed up for the subscription today. What a nice community. Andy. Andy, you need to get your... do you know what, Andy? I recognise that name then. You have subscribed because I've put you down. Andy, I've not done your calories for you. I've got your calorie calculator set up. I just need your bits and pieces, mate. If you've joined the community, I assume you've got the downloads with the little consultation form. If you fill it in and get it over to me, mate, I'll get it sent over. The community it's a lovely space. It really, really is. It's busy, it's hectic. There's a lot of people in there. If you join the community, I highly recommend you mute the WhatsApps groups. Just because you mute them doesn't mean you're not involved, doesn't mean you're out of them. It just means you'll just stop you getting loads of notifications. But yeah, get your consultation form over, mate, and I'll do your calories for you, Andy. Yeah. Treadmill and Stairmaster for me. I watch a TV program. Stairmaster is a killer. I watch people on the Stairmaster, and they're on it for like half an hour. In fact, there was a girl on today. I got the cross trainer today, and in 15 minutes cross trainer, I went and did 30 minutes weights, came back in, and she was still on the Stairmaster. I do 5 minutes on the Stairmaster, and I'm literally having to like push my heart back into my chest. What can I do at the gym to lose most weight? Nothing. You don't lose weight in the gym. You genuinely don't. I'm not being pedantic when I say you don't lose weight in a gym. You get fitter and healthier physically and mentally in a gym. The only direct thing going to the gym does when it comes to weight loss is it burns some calories. And you don't actually burn that many calories exercising. So you might be like, well, why go to the gym to lose weight? Don't go to the gym to lose weight. I don't go to the gym to lose weight. I go to the gym to be fit and healthy, physically and mentally. Now, if you're physically fit and mentally fit, right? If you're physically fit and mentally fit, right? That makes weight loss easier. It will help with emotional eating. It will help getting your steps in. It will help controlling your calories. But directly, the gym, and never have that meant. If anyone on this live now, if the only reason you're going to a gym is to lose weight, stop it. Go to the gym for the right reason. Paul, sticking to under 2,500 calories, sometimes less if I eat too few. Will weight still come off? Paul, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, mate, weight will come off. Now, I know what you weighed when you were in the community. So if you're 3.5 stone down from that and you're eating 2,500 calories a day, you are in a calorie deficit, mate. You're in a calorie deficit. So as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. It really is that simple, you know? And you said you're sticking to under 2,500 calories, sometimes less. If I eat too few, will weight... Oh, if you eat too few, will weight still come off? Of course it will. Yeah, absolutely. Like, eating too fewer calories does not stop you losing weight. When people come on and go, oh, I'm eating 1,000 calories a day and I'm not losing weight, it's because you're not eating 1,000 calories a day. It really is that. I'm not laughing at you. It really is that simple. I'm like, that's the reason, right? Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, Paul, I know what you weigh. If you eat 1,000 calories a day, you'll lose loads of weight. The issue with eating 1,000 calories a day, Paul, is it's not even on the Mounjaro. It's not very healthy. You're not going to be getting the proteins, the carbs, the fats in that the body needs. You're not going to be getting your vitamins, your minerals in. You need nutrition. Body fat will always make up the calorie deficit for energy, right, to keep you alive. Right, so if you burn 3,000 calories, if you're obese, right, you've got excess body fat, you burn 3,000, 3,500 calories a day, right, and you eat 1,000 calories a day, your body will make up that. You're never in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is just how we describe consuming less calories than we burn. That is it. Your body's never in a calorie deficit. I've burnt 3,500 calories today. And as I'm doing this live now, I've eaten less than 1,700. So, but my body isn't going, Neil, you've only eaten 1,700. I've burnt 3,500. I need 1,800 calories, Neil. You've got them, Chief. You're taking from here, or my hips, or my bottom, or my thighs, right? Because you will use my stored energy to make up the difference. But one thing body fat does not give us, right, is nutrition. Subcutaneous fat, visceral fat, it does not contain carbohydrates. We need carbohydrates for energy and recovery, right? Like I just said then, when you move about, you burn glycogen, right? You need that in your system to have optimal energy, right? And if you don't, you will feel tired, you will feel lethargic. Ignore all the grifters going, I've done carnivore for 12 months and I've had the most energy I've ever had in my life. They're lying to you. Now, they actually might not be lying to you. If you've gone from a diet of having 40 pints of lager a week, 20 bags of crisps, 18 pizzas a week, right, to a diet of just eating steak and eggs, will you have more energy? Yeah, because you've gone from consuming absolute poison and garbage, right, which is what it is, right? Now, like I say, I ain't using good and bad, but that's what that is, right? There's no nutrient. If that's what your diet is made up of, which is just purely low nutrient dense, ultra processed foods and alcohol, which is pure poison to the body, you are going to feel like absolute junk. If you then switch to eating nothing but steak and eggs, you are going to feel like $1 million. But alongside your steak and egg, add some broccoli in there and some avocado and some, nice bit of sourdough bread. Add some rice in there and add a few other bits of it. You'll feel like even better. You'll feel even better. Yeah? I hate using negative terminology to describe food, but there's never a backstory. A lot of these people that say, I've done keto for 6 months and I've never had as much energy. Yeah. What was your diet previous to doing keto? Well, it was, like I say, bags of crisps, pints of lager, bottles of wine, kebabs on a Saturday night, and that was it. I've got mates that live like that, and they will feel like absolute death. And just eating steak and eggs, you will feel better. Yeah. I can never keep up the gym. I prefer to exercise at home. Absolutely fine. Fit and healthy at home. Doesn't matter. You exercise for physical health, mental health. It doesn't matter whether you do that. It doesn't matter whether you do it in a gym. It doesn't matter if you do it at home. It doesn't matter if you do it on a push iron, going out and about. Doesn't matter if you do it on a tennis court, playing a bit of tennis. Doesn't matter if you're doing 5-a-side. Doesn't matter. Exercise what you enjoy doing. Yeah. Is sourdough bread better for you or more filling? Is it better for you? Compared to what? Like, again, I don't want people... Look, sourdough is basically... The main advantage of sourdough is it's similar to consuming yogurt. They use a fermented dough, yeast, to make it, and that adds live cultures to it. Those live cultures go into your gut and promote gut health. That's kind of... sourdough bread is low glycemic, right? So it is a slower release of energy. And a lot of people that consume sourdough bread, if you're someone that eats very, very bloated or something like that, a lot of people sort of say that sourdough digests a lot easier. And generally it does. But, is it like 10 times better than just having a wholemeal bread? Or not really. No, it's each to their own. I love sourdough because it tastes amazing. It absolutely tastes amazing. It's really good. It is good for us, right? As far as bread goes, if it's a good quality like Jason sourdough, it is like healthier. And a lot of people go on about additives and preservatives and all that and the other. Again, people don't understand. People always go on, oh, this is full of emulsifiers and things. People don't actually understand how much of those things you would actually have to consume for it to have a negative impact on your health, right? Honestly, like, a few additives or a few preservatives, especially in the UK, because the quality of our food is amazing, yeah? It puts you in the right headspace, the gym. Well, does for me. That's exactly, you're right, Dan Baxter. It does. The gym is one of them. It's something. I'm not saying I wouldn't have had weight loss success without the gym, but it has just been revolutionary for my mental health. Is what the gym has been, and from going to the gym, it just makes you feel $1 million. Now I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I'll be a bit tired. I'll get up. I won't have a shower. I've had a shower tonight. I'll literally just chuck some clothes on. I'll have a shower after the gym. And it'll be a bit of a push to get there. When I'm leaving the gym at 7:30 tomorrow morning, I will feel $1 million. Yeah. Can mainly eat anything really in a deficit. So just eat in moderation. That's all. And portion control. Is that a question, Stephen Edward Bonner? Can mainly eat anything really in a deficit, so just eat in moderation. That's all. And yeah, absolutely. So right, sorry, I had to reread that. You can eat anything within a calorie deficit and lose weight. Just because you can do that doesn't necessarily mean you should, right? You should. It doesn't necessarily mean you should. We should always try and prioritize, some whole foods, fruits, veggies, eggs, chicken, things like that. We should always try and prioritize those. Look, for weight loss, the most important thing is being in a calorie deficit. And if you're going to be more consistent sticking to a calorie deficit, having some more processed foods, fine. That's absolutely fine. But, we should get your fruits and your veggies and stuff like that in there. I've had a salad tonight. I don't know if you've seen it, right? I've done a crispy chicken bacon. So I've got chicken goujons. The good quality actually chicken goujons from Costco. These ones actually, I did buy some from Lidl, but I didn't end up using them. I've ended up using these ones from Costco, and they are really good quality. But they are chicken goujons. They're the chicken breast. They're in breadcrumb. They might not be quite as lean as chicken breast, but they taste amazing. But my salad, it's got a bit of lighter than light mayonnaise in it, ultra processed food. It's got a low fat cheese slice in it, ultra processed food. Chicken goujons, you might class them as ultra processed food. I actually class those just as processed because they are decent quality chicken in there. I've got some bacon medallions in there. That's all. But there's a load of lettuce, cucumber, onion. There's a lot of goodness in there as well. And a lot of protein and a lot of fiber in it. And overall, it's a good balanced meal that tastes amazing. And I'm going to be more consistent having a crispy chicken and bacon ranch salad than I would be having a grilled chicken breast with a bit of cucumber, lettuce, and tomato on the side. All right? You've got to make your food taste good. Can you send me a link to join again, Neil? Yes, Paul, of course I can, mate. Are you joining the community or do you want to come on plan? Let me know. My community is £5 for the first month using code WELCOME. There's no contract, cancel any time. But if you want to stay in the community after the first month, it's a tenner. That is it, right? My one-to-one plan, if you want to come up, let me write a plan out for you. You can follow that. It doesn't matter if you're on Mounjaro like Paul is. I'll write the plan based around your weight. I'm not calling it a weight loss injection plan or anything like that. It's a weight loss plan, right? But I can adapt it, so I'll structure the calories because the way you structure calories are different if you're on a GLP-1. So we'll take all that into consideration. One-to-one plan is £15 to sign up. That's it. £15 to sign up to the one-to-one plan. And then it's $29.99 a month for one-to-one. And that's fortnightly check-ins with me. I'll keep an eye on your plan, keep an eye on everything, log your progress, send your feedback every couple of weeks. You can also WhatsApp me. If you're on the one-to-one plan, you can WhatsApp me whenever you want to. So even if it's, Monday afternoon and you're like, I need to ask Neil something, just WhatsApp me. Right, just WhatsApp me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah. I've lowered my carbs due to diagnosis of PCOS and type 2 in December. I'm 3 stone down. I'm scared to eat them. Doesn't make a difference, Lisa. Eat your carbs. Eat exactly the same amount of calories that you're eating now. Fantastic on your weight loss, right? Eat exactly the same. If your calories stay exactly the same as what you've stuck to lose 3 stone into your diet, you'll carry on. Carbs do not Why people get a bit worried, because PCOS, yes, you've got some insulin resistance. Type 2 diabetes, yes, you've got insulin resistance. Insulin resistance just means that your pancreas either isn't responding correctly to the blood glucose in your bloodstream, or it's not producing enough insulin to bring it's one or the other, right? And whether you consume carbs or not will not make a difference. Now, don't get me wrong. If you are insulin resistant, we don't want your blood sugars to stay elevated, right, for your health. But remember, carbs is a blanket term. If you're PCOS, type 2 diabetic, you can eat carbs. Carbs is whole grains, oats, beans, pulses, lentils, fruits, veggies. Those are carbohydrates. You can eat them till the cows come home, right? I don't know when the cows are coming home, but you can eat them. Hopefully the cows won't come home too soon and you'll carry on eating your whole grains and your fruits and your veggies, right? It's absolutely fine. I think when a lot of people think of carbs, you think of like say sugar and again, you can still eat sugar if you're type 2 diabetic. Not loads, right? But we shouldn't eat loads whether we're type 2 diabetic or not, right? It's all about balance. I only consume 1,900 calories a day. I'm 31 and 6 foot and inactive due to injury. Is that too low? How much do you weigh? I mean, you're quite young. 900 calories isn't a ridiculously low amount. You're quite tall though at 6 foot. Depends how much you weigh, right? Again, come join my community, £5, use code WELCOME, and I'll give you, at least if you join my community for a £5, you'll get a calorie breakdown. So at least then you'll know your calories are right? If I work out your calories, they're right? So you never need to question your calories, right? It's then down to you to stick to them or not, yeah? I'm scared of the blood spike, don't be. But my sugars are good. I refuse to take metformin. They run. Right, so if your sugars are good, don't be scared of... You're scared of the blood spike, Lisa, because of all the nonsense that's on social media about it. Don't be scared of blood sugars rising, right? Blood sugars should go up, right? And if your blood sugars are pretty decent, then you might not be that insulin resistant. 13 stone 7, 6 foot 9. What's your goal, Stephen? Weight loss? And again, you put activities, you're inactive, how many steps do you do? It's a bit, never be scared of natural processes of the body. Never be scared of your blood sugars going up, whether you're type 2 diabetic or not, right? Obviously, if you are type 2 diabetic, we don't want to be like doing, raising our blood sugars on purpose. But, if you eat plenty of protein, plenty of fiber, your blood sugars will go up. Lose weight, reduce your visceral fat, and that'll help to reduce your insulin resistance, and your blood sugars will normalize. You'll be absolutely fine. I have coached probably in the last 2-3 years. I've had over 30 of my clients reverse their type 2 diabetes following my advice. So you might say, you don't know it. I do know what I'm talking about with it, right? And I've told all my clients, you don't need to panic about this. You don't need to panic about that, right? Weight loss is number one. That's how you reverse type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes isn't caused by eating carbohydrates. Insulin resistance isn't caused by eating carbohydrates. Insulin resistance is caused by high levels of visceral fat, being obese. And that visceral fat, if it surrounds your pancreas to the point where it suffocates it, it stops working properly. As you lose weight, less visceral fat around your pancreas, it's not suffocated anymore, and it can function properly. That's it. Your obesity is stopping your pancreas functioning properly. Become less obese, your pancreas will start working again, and you won't have to, and you'll be in remission for your diabetes. Yeah. I can WhatsApp if you want. All right. So I know how many calories to save for it. Yeah, drop me a WhatsApp, Tom. I'll get back to you in the morning, guys. If anyone's waiting for a response from me tonight, you're not going to get one. And I don't mean that rude. I'm going to bed. My head's a bit mashed, to be honest with you. I'm absolutely knackered. I've not stopped all day. I have got a couple of check-ins that I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to come off this live. I'm going to do these check-ins, then I'm going to go to bed. Anyone else, I will be back to you in the morning. I'm going to the gym first thing in the morning. I'll be back here for 8:30 to the live, 8:30 till 9:30. And I'm in then, and it's going to be admin. I'm going to do all the progress sheets and everything in the morning as well, yeah? I'm trying to reverse it. I've cut processed food, sugars and junk food out. You don't need to, Lisa. It sounds like you're going to extremes. And by going to extremes, Lisa, you're going to hit a brick wall. When I say, you're going to hit a brick, you're going to extremes, that word, I've cut out processed food, sugar and junk food, right? What you should do is look at reducing the amount of processed food you can consume. Reduce, when you say junk food, even if you're trying to reverse type 2 diabetes, you can still enjoy a Chinese every now and then with the family. You can still enjoy a pizza, right? If you're going to the cinema, you can still enjoy a bit of a pick and mix, right? It's overconsumption that is your enemy. And what will be another enemy is going to extremes. Because when we go to an extreme and go, I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that ever again, I'm not eating that ever again, it's unsustainable. You might be able to do it for a week, 2 weeks, you might even be able to do it for a few months, right? You ain't going to do it for the rest of your life. So even if you've got a medical condition, right? Now, I'm not sitting here going, still eat loads of sugar. I'm telling about reduction, moderation. But don't go to the extreme and go cutting out, because honestly, in 3 months' time, you'll be craving all these things you've cut out, and you'll hit a brick wall, and you'll end up back to square one. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've done this for a lot of years. Yeah, it's all about finding a healthy balance. It really, really is about finding that healthy balance. And like I say, if you're going to go to an extreme with things, there's no balance. You're not finding a healthy balance. If you were like that, if you were this, and now you're like this, neither of those things are healthy. If you were like this and you've gone to this, you need to end up like this. Just meet yourself in the middle. How do you join for a fiver? If you want to join for a fiver, if you're on Facebook, you need to find my link tree. So if you go to my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook page, my YouTube page, you need to click on my link tree. When you click on my link tree, right, you'll see tabs. There's an inquiry form at the top. There's a tab for my there's things. You just need to find the community one. And it literally says in there, Boss Your Weight Loss Community, first month £5 using code WELCOME. Click on that. It'll take you to my website, or just go to my website, thereallossboss.net, and click on the weight loss section, and you can sign up to my community. Yeah, and I'll work out calories for you. Community, please, pal. I had to stop working due to health, so watch your money. Would you still look at my NutriCheck now and then? Keep an eye on diet, or do I need the others? For me if you want one-to-one coaching, if you want me to delve in, I would. You would need to be on one-to-one. But if you are on the community, Paul, you can come onto the Zoom sessions and ask me these questions. You can still come on and talk about it and this, that, and the other. Because if I answer your question on a Zoom, I will be helping other people in the community as well. But if you want to send me directly your NutriCheck and have me look through it and this, that, and the other, yeah, that would be a one-to-one subscription sort of thing. But we can still keep an eye on you, mate, in the community. It'll just be through like the Zoom session, because you used to come on the Zooms. So you can come on the Zooms, you can come and have a chat with me directly, ask me any questions directly, either in the chat box or one-to-one chatting on the Zooms. Yeah. So I will help you, mate. I will help you. But if you can't WhatsApp me your NutriCheck and get me to go through it, and just make sure, because that is a one-to-one thing. But come back into the community, Paul, and further down the line, if things ease out a little bit and you feel like you want to upgrade to the one-to-one, we can upgrade you if you're struggling a little bit. Let's just see how you're on the community to start off with. Yeah, I'll send you the link anyway, and we'll see if we can get you signed back up. I've got you on my WhatsApp, mate, so I'll just WhatsApp you the link if you want to sign back up. Right, guys, I'm out of here. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back 8:30 in the morning, 11 hours. I'll be back. I'll see you then. TikTok, I'm going to sign off with you first. Yeah, if you're free, I'll see you in the morning at 11:30. And if you're on Planning in the Community, I'm also on at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Weight loss coaching live. We'll be on a Zoom. So we kind of got there last week. I don't know how, but we did get there last week to what I wanted. We'll try and sort it out again tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow at some point. You lovely people over here on YouTube and Facebook. I'll be on YouTube, Facebook in the morning. Like I say, if you come and join the community, I also do weight loss coaching live tomorrow. It's through Zoom, but then that is saved back to the Facebook group, and it's also saved back to YouTube as well, with a private link for you to go and watch it. So you can watch it through YouTube for your telly as well if you want to. Anyway, I'll definitely be on for everybody tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. So have a great Monday night, whatever you're doing.